efficient. And on top of that, 75% of the buildings are residential. So it is quite a challenge when you also realize that the renovation speed in general in Europe, that is between 1 or 2%. So that would mean that renovating the entire stock, that would cost minimal 50 years and maximum 100 years. So that really is a long time to improve the buildings, and we badly need to do so, as we are all aware of. So the objectives that we have set ourselves in the Bimspeed project is firstly to enable all stakeholders to adopt BIM, to reduce the time of deep renovation projects by 30%. So that 50 to 100 years, that really could be sped up by this, and that's the first objective. The second one, in order to enable those stakeholders, we will provide, or we have provided already, an affordable BIM cloud platform, tools and standardized procedures. And last but not least, we want to create and implement renovation solutions with a guaranteed energy performance, because we can provide a platform, etc., but if there's no solution available that could be implemented, well, then it would not achieve a result at all either, of course. So these three objectives, they are integrated, you could say, in our vision, and the vision is again to provide, to develop and implement and provide this BIM-Speed platform. So a harmonized building information speedway for energy efficient renovation. And it is not so much only a platform with some dedicated tools, but we really want to create an ecosystem. So not thinking and developing everything in advance. Of course, there have to be tools to be developed in advance in order to use and to make a valuable ecosystem, but we really are aiming for an open ecosystem, ecosystem, so that other suppliers, tool suppliers, can also link and provide their services and tools in this ecosystem. And in that sense, well, you could compare it with a real high speed. So this is a picture, an illustration of a circuit. We do provide the infrastructure, we do provide some protocols, but the cars, that of course, are not managed by us. We only have agreements how to drive on that circuit, as a metaphor again. So the concept and approach, when we are having this Bimspeed platform, what do we want to do with it? Well, we want to promote, we want to support a credible transdisciplinary approach to the renovation process. So not only for architects, not only for contractors, not only for the owners of the real estate, but really a mixture, different disciplines that can all work together by the aid of this BIM cloud platform. And very briefly, it should start with collecting and understanding the data of the existing building. So how do we acquire, scanning, etc. The data in order to have solid and good information about that building stock. Then we will create BIM passports, family and library of existing building stock. So structure it to make it usable. On top of that, providing the BIM renovation solutions, and in order to integrate them and to optimize them by doing all kind of analysis related to the performance of energy, sustainability, etc., and to assess the scores on those topics. Then we can have designed and analyzed the solutions, but of course it should be implemented in real life, and therefore we facilitate all kind of functionalities as well for the engineering, the procurement, and the implementation of those optimal strategies. And last but not least, we provide functionality and support for facility and asset management. You could wonder, well, is this useful for me? And what is it exactly about BIM? Well, BIM appears in many, many ways, and it can be used in many, many ways. So we made an inventory in this project as well about the possible use cases. And there's also a tool made available by the BIM-Speed project in order for yourself to assess Is it valuable? Is there something that you could use it for? When there is this use case that could be applicable for you, then you could wonder, well, am I mature enough? Am I capable to drive on this highway, to use those tools? There we have made a distinction about the BIM maturity for your company. So you can assess by using an online survey if your company, if your employees are already capable to use it in a fruitful way. And based on that, there will be some general suggestions to adjust your BIM readiness, so to improve your organization. But at the same time, if your organization is ready for it, well, we still have to check if the particular project is ready to be used. Is it really helped by using BIM? So there is also a project questionnaire, the use cases, as I mentioned, and as well on this side, also some suggestions to make it more mature. And all in all, this is provided to really make it applicable and to make sure that you're getting the best out of it. If it is just in the old-fashioned way or really high-tech, it all can be used all together on the same platform. But when we think about really low-level entrance and really sophisticated, we have to make sure that different parties, different tools using the same highway can really cooperate with each other. So a lot of effort is put into the interoperability of all those tools. So one can think about the industry foundation class, GB/XML. So mainly open standards in order to make sure that this ecosystem is really working with all those different tools, different users from different suppliers. How does it look like? But it will be explained more in detail by the next speaker, by Nicola. But just as a sneak preview, here you have an illustration of the Bimspeed platform where you can find all kinds of services, tools and applications. For example, an app that can be used by inhabitants to collect all kinds of data that is valuable for deciding what kind of design we should come up with. Also, GIS data provision of, let's say, climate data in order to make good energy analysis. All kinds of tools later explained also in the session by SciPy, a decision support tool and a 3D dash tool. So like I said, just some examples, but again, it will be explained more in detail later on. So we have developed and implemented and have more or less validated ourselves during the project already, because we are working with demonstration cases. And as you can see in this scheme, there is, in my opinion, a nice spread, a nice distribution all over Europe, all kind of climate zones, all kind of different cultures. And we are testing the possibilities of those tools, those protocols on those demonstration cases. Not all the functionalities are tested on every demonstration case, but we have made a nice distribution where we, for example, check in one demonstration case how we can acquire the as-built data and do the BIM modeling, while in others, for example, there is the emphasis on the renovation design or the building energy modeling and the performance simulations, or really the renovation execution, so offsite and on-site construction. And of course, post-renovation evaluation and long-term maintenance planning. So all these functionalities, all these tools, they are somehow being validated in these demonstration cases. And to conclude this general introduction of Bimspeed, it is a 40-month during project funded by the European Commission. At this moment, we are almost at 75%. So we have milestones and we have 8 chunks of 6 months. And at this moment, we more or less have completed and validated the methods for the renovation design and analysis. And we are about to enter the last year where Bimspeed competition is organized. That again will be explained as well by Spiridan this morning. And we really want to apply it all the way on those demonstration cases. So I hope that I made it a bit more clear what this project is about. And I hope that I, well, warmed you up as an audience in order to listen with anticipation to the following speakers, because again, they will explain it a bit more in detail. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Andre. The second one on the list is Nicolas from France in CSTB, who will present Bimspeed platform.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll try to share my screen. Okay, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. So hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Nicolas Pastorelli. I work in a French company named CSTB, and I will present you the Bimspeed platform. So let's dive into it directly. We are talking about the highway that was presented by Andre, and I will show you the different layers available in this platform. The core of the platform is actually a collaboration suite. I will show you a small demonstration about that. And this is a place where you exchange data and documents. So you can share documents, you can create tasks, you have an agenda where you can share meetings, for instance. And you have also a chat, a live chat, and a thread of discussion, and also some video conferencing availabilities. On the top of that, once you are manipulating files, you have some extra services like support processing services. So you have a central authentication system, which is used by several of the services which are integrated. You have a store of service where we can plug the different services that you will be able to access through the platform. And we also have a folder wizard, which makes it possible for you to create in your project some wizard according to specific folder organizations, but as well to have some automation, like check some files or have some specific content instantiated inside your project. On the top of that, we have some enabler services for renovations, which were created. So we have a material service, which takes some material data into the IFC and prepare it for a simulation. We have a GIS service, for instance, where you can retrieve data from around the location of your renovation site, and as well as weather data, which is a system to retrieve all the data which you require to perform some analysis and simulations before you perform the renovation. And on the top of that, you have all the Bimspeed partner services, and you have several of them, which will be presented later in this presentation. You have the entire SciPy ecosystem. You have got some services which makes it possible to get connected to IT platform and retrieve live information from sensors. Some services which make it possible to convert some CLAD points to BIM to IFC files and simulation tools and things like that. Technically, all these tools are connected through a generic API, and that's why we can have all these services and have more and more of them integrated. And we also have a competition. I will say a few words about that, but it will be described later again in this presentation. I have to let you know that this platform, the Bimspeed platform, actually it's built on the top of the Quirky platform, which is a French state backed up platform. It has been created by French state to help SMEs to go to BIM and use BIM. And Bimspeed actually it's a superset of this platform, meaning that you need to create a Quirky account and convert it to Bimspeed account so that you can have all the services related to Bimspeed. Okay, so let's talk now about the core services which are proposed by the collaboration suite. So when you create an account, these are the services that you can use for to conduct your project. When first of all, you have a document management system where you can manage users, give some rights on the folders of every user you want to involve in your project. So you can invite anyone through an email, for instance. So you can share documents, and document have a version. It works like Dropbox or Google Drive. It's actually the same thing. You can comment documents. You can share them even with people who are not involved in the platform. You have simple validation workflow if required. You can view online some of documents of the documents can view online, like PDF and so on. So you have an online visualization of that. And you can download, if you want, a file synchronization application that you install locally on your PC in order to synchronize your local file with the files which are in the cloud. Okay. On the top of that, so this was pure document management system, which is quite important when you are, of course, collaborating. But you have some other collaboration services, like a main discussion thread, which works like Slack, integrated video conferencing, because it's based on the web. So if you want to invite someone, you don't need to find a third-party tool like Teams or whatever tool, because it is inside the platform, so it's very easy. You have a task management system. You can find out meetings, so it's a kind of doodle which is inside the platform itself. So you have all the name of the people here, and you can share these documents, and the central authentication system. And you have some basic Quirky services as well, which are available to you. So you have a file naming convention service, which makes it possible to declare the kind of naming you want for your files inside a specific folder, so that you have a warning if it is not well named at a certain point of your renovation project. And you've got also a tool which is named FBIM, which is a IFC viewer application, which is free, which is connected to the platform. So you can download it and download IFC files and make some measurements and trigger some things inside this desktop application also if you want. But you have some other desktop application and cloud application which are proposed by the Bimspeed ecosystem. And all these services will be presented to you later, and you can find them, of course, on the Bimspeed website to have a concrete list of this. Just a few words about the process of enrollment, and especially enrollment in the competition. If you want to use this platform, first of all, you need to create a Quirky user account. So you need to go to quirky.fr, provide login, provide a password that you can choose, and then create a personal account for a specific user for you. Okay. Once you are there, you can create several workspaces. Usually people are creating workspace with the name of a company, so mycompany.quirky.fr or whatever you want. And once you are connected, logged in with your user account, and you are creating a workspace, you can create several projects, and on every project you can invite users. So you invite people to create a login on the platform and to join a project, and you can share a document with them. At that point here, you are still inside the Quirky platform. And if you want to convert it very easily to the Bimspeed platform, actually what you can do is that you can enroll in the Bimspeed competition. I will show you that later. You have a small service which makes it possible for you to enroll a competition. And then once you enroll a competition, your Quirky account, it's converted into a Bimspeed account. So it means that you have a free plan for a competition. I mean, you can invite anyone, and you can store as many documents as you want. You have a Bimspeed branding of the application. It's not Quirky anymore. It's Bimspeed. And more important, you have a Bimspeed service packs, meaning that when you trigger services, you get access to all the services of the Bimspeed partners. And then from now on, you can use the Bimspeed services. So let me show you a very quick example of that. I mean, at least to give you a sense about how it looks like. So this is the Bimspeed platform. Okay, so you can see that I created a bimspeed.quirky.fr, but I could create nicolas.quirky.fr or whatever. And I got enrolled in the competition. So now my Bimspeed platform is branded with Bimspeed logos and so on. So you can see all the projects. This is one workspace. I've created several renovation projects, which are here. And I can see my contacts. I can create a live video conference. I can manage my tasks, my calendar, and stuff like that. Okay, and I can chat with all the connected people. When I enter one specific project, I can get access to the services here. This is a small puzzle icon here. And this is where you find all the tools of our partners, which will be presented later. And in this case, just as an example, I will use the toolbox. The toolbox, now it's renamed the wizard, actually. This is where you have predefined structures of folders. I will create one folder structure, which we thought about in the Bimspeed project, which will help you for renovation. So if you create such a structure, You will have all the Bimspeed competition folder, which explain you how to perform a competition. And you have also some materials, like some Excel file, which were created by our partners in order to help you to evaluate BIM maturity, for instance, in your project and so on. So by creating folders, predefined folders, you've got some automations and some predefined content. So in that case, let's just trigger the folder creation. And as a consequence here, I've got a new folder in my project. I can go in a specific folder, for instance. I can import an IFC file just for the sake of the example. And from there, I will trigger the list of services. So I can see all the Bimspeed partner services which are related to IFC files. And once again, for the sake of example, I will trigger the weather service. So the weather service is taking the IFC file, extracting the location. So this is in Vitoria in Spain, in that case. And from there, I can choose to extract some weather data, because I know that later I want to perform some simulations, for instance. I want my data to be exported in EPU, so it's compatible with Energy Plus, and then I export data to Quirky, and finally I have some extra content here in my project, in the highway actually, and I can use it for later simulations or things like that. Okay, so this is a quick example to show you that you have a backbone application, and from there, depending on the file you are importing, you can trigger some specific services which improve the quality of the data and help you through your renovation process. Okay, so as a summary, you need to create a space, a workspace and a project to work in the Quirky system. So then you can have a list of the different services available. One of them here is the wizard, which help you to enroll the competition and help you to turn your workspace into a Bimspeed workspace. If you use the toolbox or the wizard here, you can create predefined structures for your renovation project with content already available. And then later on, you will be able to trigger any other services which were embedded inside the Bimspeed platform. Final word, our goal here is to break the monopoly, of the construction industry. So you don't need to use a solution from one vendor. Actually, the vision of the platform is that we have several producers, so several kind of tools that will be presented to you. You are the consumers, and in the middle, you can use a Bimspeed platform to use several of these partner applications, and all of them can be coordinated through the folders or through the platform to help you perform some renovation. And that's the toolbox, the combo which is proposed by Bimspeed platform. Okay, I'm done on my side. I hope it's good time-wise, and I will be available later for any question.
Thank you, Nicholas. I will give the floor now to Jan from HTV in Germany.
Okay, many thanks. So I will also try to share my screen. Okay, should be visible right now. Maybe you can give me a sign if you can hear me and see my screen.
It's okay.
Okay, perfect. Then, yeah, welcome everybody. Many thanks for the time. I have to present you the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit. My name is Jan-Erik Braun, working for Hochtief Waikong, and we have the role of the work package leader of work package 1, which is about collecting and understanding data of existing buildings. So just to give a brief understanding what I'm talking about, the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit is intended to specify or identify the required data to complete specific renovation goals. So depending on the renovation goals, we derive use cases, and the question which arose in the beginning of the project was which information do we have to collect to fulfill these specific goals, and that's how the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit came in or was developed. Yeah, as I said before, work package 1 is about collecting data and understanding the data. So the first question is, if we have specific goals, we have the questions, which data is required to fulfill or to reach these goals, and which file format do we have to use, and for which purpose the specific data will be used, and okay, line was broken a little bit. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, you're back again.
I'm back again. 1 second. I have to restart the connection. I'm sorry for that. So. Oh, I'm back in a second. I have Bildschirm freigeben. So. Okay. Can you see it?
It's fine. Yeah.
Fine is other way. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the question is, who can use the tool? And so we intended to make it usable for almost every person. So we decided to use a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, which is using Power Pivot. Because almost every person who should collect or who's responsible to collect data on site to support specific renovation projects should be able to know which information has to be collected. And that is the way we're working, using simple tools which can be used by everybody to to enable BIM on site. So this overview or this presentation is divided in 3 steps. So first of all, I would like to tell you a little bit about the purpose and how we identified the challenges, or which challenges we identified in the BIM-Speed project, and what were our BIM-Speed approaches. So Nicolas and Andre mentioned some of them earlier before. We will see it again. Then it comes up to development, how we support the main objective of BIM-Speed projects, and how we, what was our approach to identify the BIM use cases to derive the data which has to be collected to fulfill these renovation goals. And finally, if I would give a brief demonstration of the methodology toolkit and how easy it is to use. But let's start with the purpose of the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit, and to understand the big picture behind it. So if we go for, okay. In the beginning of BIM-Speed project, we have had a closer look to identify which data has to be collected. And the main challenges which we encounter currently in industry, and especially for renovation projects, is about data collection, because we have to know exactly which information is required and in which level of detail or it is required to fulfill a specific goals. Otherwise, we collect much data, and it's very affordable to post-process these data. And that's a second challenge that we have to solve. It is to save time and reduce efforts by avoiding much post-processing processes by providing the data directly in a usable data format. For collaboration, we have to share these information, especially if it comes to laser scanning. It's big data which we are handling, so we need an environment where we can share the information in a very easy way. And finally, we would like to intend to bring our research information or the research we did in BIM-Speed projects to operation systems. So we have to transfer it on site to make it usable. And our approaches in BIM-Speed projects are aiming directly at these 4 challenges. For the requirements, we have to extract the requirements from the use cases. So that's the way we work with a BIM-Speed methodology toolkit, and I will show it later on. For the post-processing, we intend to have, as soon as we know exactly which data has to be collected, we have to define methods to specify and speed up those processes and avoid much post-processing. For collaboration, Nicolas provided some information about the BIM-Speed platform. So that's our landing page where we try to intend to provide all those BIM-Speed services. And finally, as Andre mentioned earlier, we try to transfer the findings to on-site projects by using 12 demonstration projects spread all over Europe. But what is the development, or how did we develop the BIM-Speed project? So starting from the main objective, which has been mentioned earlier before, and which I give in brief on the next page, we identify the relevant BIM use cases, and from those BIM use cases, we can derive the requirements or the data which has to be collected to fulfill the use cases and therefore the main objectives. So the 4 main objectives of BIM-Speed project, as mentioned earlier before, is to increase energy performance, to reduce costs, to speed up the whole refurbishment process, and for sure increase the inhabitants' comfort. And when we started, we encountered that it's a big issue if we talk about use cases, because anybody knows what is a use case, but we found out that it's most important to speak with the same tongue. So we created the use case terminology for our BIM-Speed project. So to explain in brief some buzzwords, the renovation goal is the overall objective which we would like to achieve. So for example, reducing energy consumption. The business processes are those processes which will be done to reach those goals anyways. If you use BIM or not, it's not important for that. So the business processes and that what we all do in our daily business when it comes to construction and refurbishment projects. The BIM use cases are use cases which try to, or not try, which support those renovation processes by using BIM models and to get better and more exact results and support those business processes. And finally, the methods are the way of working to serve the BIM use cases. So it's more specific when it comes to a specific software or service we are using. Bringing all these information together, the whole BIM-Speed consortium created a huge table, all information, and I zoom into the headline to talk about. On the left-hand side, you see the renovation goals, which we would like to support. So energy consumption, time reduction, cost reduction, and inhabitants' comfort. And we brought everything in a huge Excel spreadsheet where we have all those information. We have the BIM-Speed renovation phases, we have the rebar stages, and you will find all the terminologies we've used before, the business processes, BIM use cases and methods, methods and came down until we have tools, software, and devices. So we are talking about a top-down approach where we define which goals we would like to achieve and go through the whole Excel spreadsheet to see which tools, software, and devices we can use to collect the information and support the specific BIM use cases. So these are much words. Maybe it's easier to just provide a short introduction or a short overview if I provide an example of the BIM-Speed the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit. So as I mentioned before, the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit is an Excel spreadsheet to be used by anybody, and it's more or less self-explaining because we have a step-by-step introduction. All those buttons you see here are the filter sections we can go through. So we choose for this example that we would like to reduce the costs, and we go for yeah, in this example, okay, this is very good right at the moment. Yeah, that's a best docking station. I'm sorry for that right at the moment. Okay, and then you have the possibility to set, okay, we would like to go for the BIM use case construction planning. You will get more information what is meant by in the use case description, and finally it will be filtered down. So as an excuse, this is not a problem of the spreadsheet of the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit. It's a problem with our docking station right at the moment. I'm very sorry for that. But hopefully you see, okay, I have to set some filters, and finally I see which data to be collected on site. So on one hand, we have the 3D model data to be collected, so which is just to set up the 3D model. Measured data to be collected, which can be measured directly on site, and data which will be collected via sensors, which should be more or less automatically collected. And finally, and that's the last step, is an overview. We see all the demonstration projects down here, and we have also the possibility to go for construction planning and see, okay, we would like to create a 4D model based on the generic data, and you will see on which demo sites this will be demonstrated to transfer the findings onto operational systems. And this ends my little struggling presentation, and hopefully I provided nevertheless a good overview about the BIM-Speed methodology toolkit and how we intend to identify which information has to be collected for specific BIM use cases. That's it from my side. Many thanks.
Thank you, Yannick. We will go now to Nadia's presentation. She will present extended reality tools. Nadia, you can, I think, share the screen.
Share. Hello, colleagues from Greece. I'm Nadia from Varna, Bulgaria. I'm a member of the Chamber of Architects in Bulgaria. My topic is about how to use extended reality. This is a simple illustration for what is extended reality. Real environment, it is 0%. Virtual and virtual environment is 100%. In the middle, it's all this mixed reality. So it's divided, augmented reality. You see the illustration that I created, 3 apples real and 1 unreal. I think this all is clear. What's extended reality? It's an umbrella term covering mixed reality and virtual reality. This is the full picture. So it's our studio where I'm speaking now. Our colleague shows the devices we have. He just closed Microsoft HoloLens. This is Oculus Quest. It cost about €400, 10 times cheaper than Microsoft HoloLens. It is used only for virtual reality, but recently it has a function for augmented reality too. It is VRBox. VRBox cost about €10, but you should use your own device, Android device or iPhone into. And behind him, you see at first plan anaglyphic glasses. They cost only €1. Before preparing the application, each one application, you should have an idea what you show. So you should write a scenario of the application, and it's a part of the game design document. Here you see already reconstructed demonstration building in Varna, but at first plan you see in the device the old building, how it was. This is to a part of game design document, and here another one idea. It's not real, and now you see the real test. It is a mobile augmented reality. The device is Samsung A20. If you use any device, if you prepare to produce an application, you should know that not all the devices support augmented reality. So you should, there is a list on Google for which devices produce augmented reality and which not produce. Firstly, it needed to be recognized at the building. It is not easy. Exactly this application uses Vuforia. We have prepared a set of videos, training videos, where we explain in detail how to produce the applications. All our applications were produced with Unity. It could be produced by a real engine. So these are the two engines for games, but we had reasons to work with Unity. All this, I repeat, could be found in the training videos. Now they are uploaded in the site of Bimspeed, also in the YouTube channel of Bimspeed, and also in our YouTube channel, the channel of Architectural Spice Ltd. And there are links also from our internet site of Architectural Spice.com. Now, in this moment, you see the volumetrized thermal scans. Thermal scans are two-dimensional. Our colleague Antoni, it was idea of him to prepare to produce a 3D model from the two-dimensional size. Now he works on this. Our colleague Chris demonstrates the application. You see now on the screen the old building, how it was before the reconstruction. This is the most powerful device, Microsoft HoloLens. You'll see this is mixed reality. Specialists say so. Mixed reality covers everything from real to virtual, but recently the specialists say to the most complex in the middle. In the middle half is real, half is unreal, and also it has occlusion. This is specific term. If somebody is interested, he can write to us. I would say it's quite complex. We were inspired by this illustration of Microsoft for teamwork on a hologram, and when started to work with Microsoft HoloLens. Here is something very interesting, again with HoloLens 2, mixed reality, the same model. And after that, you'll see a scale 1:1. So now, imagine you are this person. So this is virtual reality that appears in the studio, in our studio. Instead of the real walls, the real ceiling of the studio, you see the attic floor of the demonstration site. This is a building cultural heritage in at address 28 Dragoman Street in Varna. This is the simple, very cheap way of augmented reality, but you should have, it appears at front of your desktop. Here is explained about the virtual box. This is the test of virtual box. So you see left eye and right eye see a little different, and from this the brain receives signals for 3D visualization. So this is the BIM model. Now you see climbing to the stairs, and now the stairs will lead us to the same attic floor on the building at Dragoman Street. I would say that this is very hard to work with VR box, although the boxes are very cheap, but there are not these functions that you can have with Microsoft HoloLens. For example, we had to write a script for controlling it. For example, if you look some seconds in one direction, the model changes. This way you can see the first variant, the second variant, the third variant. So now the model changes. This is photogrammetry. It was done by our colleague Antoni with iPhone 12 Pro. But it could be done with whatever pictures from whatever camera, after that passing through any of the softwares for photogrammetry. Once again, I say working exactly with VR box is not easy. VR box is also, this is the technology for Google Cardboard. And this is the last one demo that I will show you. Now you see it is two-dimensional, but this is with headset. This is with Oculus Quest 2. This is the building. It's a municipal dormitory in the town of Malko Târnovo. It is a small municipality at the boundary with Turkey, very near, so on the road Burgas, Istanbul. So it is the BIM model. We would like to, it has more details, but it is very heavy. So these are the problems. So when you are with the headset, you can turn your head around and look up. You see here the terrace. We glassed this terrace, creating this so-called sun space. You see how we changed the model, how it was, and how you offered to be done. This balcony, the stairs lead to the second floor. This balcony is a new one. So here, in this space, it helps for the heating of the building. Now they heat the building with wood. So we offer there, this sunglass collects energy. Also, there are photovoltaics. Here we offer this in these rooms to make a small room with computers, to move the library from another one place. On this dormitory, one of the floors is for high school students, another one is for workers, and another one is for it's a hotel for when comes people from Sofia on business trips. So it's a short listing for what could be used virtual reality and augmented reality. And if somebody has questions, he could write to us. Also, once again, I say that we have a set of video tutorials for augmented reality, for virtual reality, for volumetrization of thermal scans, and we are working on preparing a tutorial about producing models by photogrammetry. This is all the presentation. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Nadia. The last tool that will be presented is by Benjamin from SAP in Spain.
Okay, thank you. Wait a second. I need to share the screen, but before, Nadia, you need to stop sharing the screen, please.
It should be fine now.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. Okay, please let me know if you can see the presentation, the PowerPoint.
All good.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are happy to be here presenting this amazing project with platforms, with virtual reality, augmented reality, and so on. And this is the Time for Site Tools. We are a partner of this project, BIM-Speed project, and we are going to introduce the tools to calculate the energy, the energy calculations, the improvements, and how to connect this BIM or this 3D model with the energy model. So while I'm talking about, I don't have much time because I think we are very close. I will be very brief to explain the 4 tools. And first of all, we are going to analyze the different tools that we have to connect this 3D model made for by the architect, and how we will be able to connect with the energy simulations and to calculate the different improvements with the different tools. The first 2 tools that I think is interesting and as a result of this project is the first one is the challenge is to connect this architectural BIM model to the BIM energy model. How to realize how to connect these 2 walls and two different walls. And this is it has been a challenge, and we will see afterwards. And this is with this tool, OpenBIM Analytical Model. We think that it's important to work with open standards, with files that you will be able to get the information from these files forever, not with native files. And this is the reason why you will see a lot of OpenBIM in this presentation. So we will introduce the OpenBIM Analytical Model. It's one of the gaps that we realized with this project, is to how to connect this 3D model made by the architect. It is important to know that maybe the architect doesn't take into account the energy model or the acoustic model or the structural model and so on. And this is the way to connect it and to generate this model. And if you change something in the architectural model, you will be able to connect with the BIM energy model. This is one of the parts. And the second part is to take into account the different elements, the different construction materials that you will use in your building, in your renovation or new building. In this project is for renovation, and you will be. It's important to take into account the different countries and the different specialties to generate the different construction materials database that we will see afterwards as well. These two utilities, the challenge and the goal for these new utilities is to improve and to create an algorithm to improve or to delay the gap that we have between the two models, to generate automatic joints generation. This is important because the thermal breaches is one of the most important losses in the buildings nowadays, and we need to calculate these joints in order to calculate the thermal breaches. This is an important point, and we will be able with this tool, the 3D model, and generate these joints that will become in thermal breaches if we have, and it depends on the type of space that we are working on. Okay, and we will generate perfectly the analytical model to calculate the energy and acoustic analysis. It's important to preserve the automatic calculation. So if we calculate something and we change the 3D model, it's important to get this new information and calculate, and this is important to do. And finally, it's important to have the database, the construction database, ready for any energy tool, in this case with Energy Plus and CPTEM E+. This is how it works. This is the first tool, the analytical model. This tool is we will get the information from the 3D model, and we will be ready to generate for different spaces, all the spaces what we have in the building. We will be ready to generate the analytical model and generate the different edges, exterior surfaces, and shading elements as well. So it is important to be ready for the energy. So we fix a problem that I explained before. This is one of the things we will see afterwards, and this is just an example. We can see when we have different rooms and different parts, it's necessary to take into account the different edges, for example, this one, to calculate the thermal breaches. If you don't calculate with this analytical model, you need to put this information handily, and this is catastrophic. And you know very well, if you are energy engineers, I'm sure that you are suffering these kind of things. And just to know that you have this kind of tool, a free tool, I have to say that is a free tool to connect via IFC, the architectural model, with the thermal model. So if you want to do it, you can download the tool. This is the construction OpenBIM tool, the construction system, OpenBIM construction systems, and is with the 3D model. that we have, it doesn't matter the 3D model, we will be able to generate the construction systems and to generate the different energy or maybe acoustic, if we want, simulation to calculate this one. To calculate, for example, the description, the construction characteristics, to calculate the different reports that we need, and the different, this is a geometrical part, but we will be able to put the different thermal analysis that we need to calculate, in this case, like I said, with energy plus, in this case, with CyberTime E plus. So this is important to generate these things if we are ready. If we don't have it, it doesn't matter. We can take this information in CyberTime E plus as well. And the CyberTime E plus and CyberTime improvements, we have talked about the analytical model, the construction systems, and now we are talking about a tool to calculate the energy simulation. This energy simulation is with CyberTime E plus, and how to generate the different measures that we want to compare the different improvements that we want to do, and this is through CyberTime Improvements Plus. So this is just an overview of the CyberTime E plus, and you can download the new one as well. And it's via this 3D model. This 3D model could be from the architectural model, but the best way is from analytical model, and we will be able to generate with this kind of constructions, the wall we will be able to get from the construction, the open BIM construction systems, or we are able to generate, we can generate the model here if we want to. So this is the aspect, is quite simple, but the part is we can generate here, for example, the thermal data, the water data we can generate via whatever we want. Is absolutely open for any weather data file, so you can get it and put it here. You can generate, if you want to see the model via 3D model, it's possible, or 2D model as well. Maybe we are more comfortable working with the 2D model, and it's possible to do it and generate the different drawings for the thermal model. It depends on the country. There are many countries where it's mandatory to generate this kind of outcomes for the thermal analysis. It's up to you if in Greece you want to generate it or not, but it's possible to do it. And finally, an analysis for the different demand, consume, anything that you need. Or for example, you can calculate here with this tool, if you don't put a HVAC system, you will be able to calculate the different temperature that you will have for the whole year. And you will be able, for example, if it's more than 28 degrees and maybe you need to put HVAC systems or whatever. So it's important to do the currently situation of the building and the different measures, the different improvements that we want to do. For any measure, for any hypothesis, we will be able to connect with the improvements that we have here, the improvements measures. Is with one click, we can do it. And we will go with this tool, it's CyberTime Improvements Plus, when we will be able to get all the cases that we calculate with CyberTime E plus. We will be able to to create the different hypotheses, the different measures, analysis, and to compare. We will be able to compare the different measures in order to select the best one, of course. So we have here, this is just some examples that we have for energy balance to be easier, the improvement measures, and the improvement measures analysis from for a monetic point of view. So this is important because you will be able the different measures that you want to do, and I think it's important. So I don't know if we'll have time just to show. This is a 3D model, the OpenBIM analytical model. That is the free tool that you can use it, and it's quite simple. You have many videos if you want to learn about it, about the Bimspeed. This is the construction systems. It's just the tool is a 3D model as well. You can get this 3D model, and you are able to, you can put all the information that we talked before. Just to show you, we have the SciPTME Plus, and this is just to see, is important to know that you have here, and the thermal bridges that you are, is important to take into account these edges through the analytical model. Okay, for plants, the same, you can take it here, all the analysis. And finally, we can, wait a second, it's generating the analysis here, the analysis with the different reports that we want to. And finally, we have the SciPTME Improvements Plus, where we can detect, and we have the different balance that we talked before. We have the balance, and we can analyze what is the different measures, and to take the right decision. Okay, so this is all from my side. If you have any question, so I will be very glad to answer if I can. Thank you.
Thank you. We are running behind the time, but if someone has any questions, please raise your hand. You can type them as well in the chat box. And we as well, I think, have one question on Slido, Larissa.
Sorry, so we move on to the questions in the Slido.
I think we can, and as well, if someone has any question for presentations, you can raise a hand as well.
Okay, so let's go back to Slido. So we have 4 more questions. So let's start. So from the presentations you have seen so far, so which Bimspeed tools and methodology presented today would you be interested to use? So you can vote in multiple tools. You can vote only in one tool. Which tools or methodology you would be interested to use today? So again, just a reminder, you can participate by scanning this QR code in your left-hand side, or also just type it in your browser, slido.com, and use the hashtag BIM-SpeedGR, so you can vote as well. So, okay, we have 11 votes now. Good. Extended reality tools, 75%. Great. Good impression, Nadia. So Bimspeed platform, 67%. Thank you. Bimspeed methodology toolkit, 62%. Site tools, 54%. Good. The numbers are still changing. People are voting. This is good. 14 people already. I will wait just a few more seconds to see if we have a little bit more participation. So 15 people. Okay, so yes, I guess the final result is the extended reality tools, 67%, Bimspeed platform, 60%, Bimspeed methodology toolkit, 53%, and site tools, 47%. So thank you very much. I guess we have one more question for this part. So, are you aware of Bimspeed training videos on Bimspeed website? Are you aware of this web page? Have you been there? Did you check, or would you like to check? No, but I will check. Yes, I'm aware, and no. So please, you can cast your votes. Okay. 12 people have voted so far. 14. Okay. 15. Okay. Few more seconds just see if we have more participation. Okay. Okay, great. So, okay, you were not aware, so we invite you to visit Bimspeed website. We have a training area in the website, and you can find all the training videos in there and the explanation of all the tools. So the tools we present here are few of them that we have developed in the Bimspeed project, and you can check all the tools in the Bimspeed training area. So yeah, this is the invitation. Thank you very much.
And probably my last invitation, if you have any questions before we move to the last presentation of Bimspeed competition. No questions. Okay, then Spiridon, I will give the floor to you, and please.
Καλημέρα. Λοιπόν, το όνομά μου είναι Spiridon Παντελής και θα σας παρουσιάσω the EU BIM for Building Renovation competition. I will switch to go to English now. The EU BIM for Building Renovation competition actually is the way to bring all these tools plus the platform all together and actually have some practice on the different tools and the platform. And the competition is a very good way to demonstrate how all these tools can work together. So just an overview about the competition. It's split to two categories, professionals and students. They have to come up, the participants, with a residential building renovation project. So for professionals category, they will have to come up with their own project. But for the students category, we provide the tool, the model of one of the demonstration cases. So the participants in the competition, they have to use the BIM tools and method and collaborate in the Bimspeed platform. In the projects, they have to show that they have energy savings, improved comfort for the occupants, and somehow to how these strategies that they implement entail a result to some time and cost reduction for the overall renovation project. So as I mentioned before, it's for teams, for professionals and students. Unfortunately, we don't accept individual applications, but the team could be consisted just of two people plus, 2 people and more. And these teams can be any kind of different professionals that are involved on building renovation projects. Could be architects, engineers like civil, HVAC, mechanical engineers, contractors, surveyors, and project managers. And as I saw, there are a lot of project managers today. Here, how you apply. So you have to visit, if you can see the link on the Bimspeed website, you can find all the information that you need along with a step-by-step guide. And this is just a screenshot of the competition page on the website. So the evaluation criteria, the submissions from each teams will be evaluated based on these principal criteria. For example, how they used the different tools in order to have some time and cost savings on the overall process, design process of the renovation project. Secondly, they will be evaluated on how they apply on their design some sustainable strategies. This is very broad, so it's up to participants to come up with how they interpret these sustainable strategies. But it could be something very simple. Then we would like to invite them to address also the user comfort and indicate, show how the design has some energy savings. Lastly, they are encouraged and they have to actually to use at least one of the BIM tools, and they will their project will be evaluated also in a way that how the teamwork takes place, how the collaboration between the different members of the team is taking place in the platform. Here on the left-hand side, you can see it. I'm sorry, I think the letters are so small, but this is a part of the website where you can find all the different tools of Bimspeed, and also you can actually watch a training video on how to use them and from where to download them. And these tools are not only those that you saw today, there are much more. So please visit this area as well. And on the right hand side here, you can see, as Nicholas showed before, how some of these services and tools can be accessed through the Bimspeed platform. So, assuming that you have registered your team, you have worked during this period, and it comes to the submission, these are what you have to submit for your project. It's one infographic and other visual material of your design project, the final IFC file, a report. Actually, you can find the template of the report on the website, and all the information are there, as I mentioned before. And an activity report, which is actually can be downloaded in 1 minute from your collaborative space on Bimspeed. So that's all for the submission. Coming to the awards. So we have awards that are, some of them are the same for professionals and students, and some of them are separate. So first of all, both professionals and students, the winning teams, will have some EU-wide exposure through the Bimspeed dissemination channels. This means that we have especially the umbrella associations, but also the universities, all the companies of Bimspeed will share through their social media and other different communication channels about the winner and the winning team. So I think this is a very good opportunity. And just to mention that just RIVA, my organization, can reach out to 120,000 HVAC engineers, and this is the same case with FIEC, ACE, and EDC. So I think this is a very good promotion for your company, or if you're a student. And secondly, both professionals and students will have the opportunity to present the project in front of the member organizations of Architects Council of Europe, and also have a presentation or participate in one of the major EU events like European Sustainable Energy Week 2022, Sustainable Places, and maybe other as well EU level conferences. For the winning team of the professionals will be granted access, will become a member of the RIVA's BIM task force, Just to mention here that the BIM Task Force aims is a group of top experts on BIM, all of them, or most of them, HVAC engineers, and they develop knowledge materials. And this would be a good opportunity also to collaborate with other experts. Next, for the professionals article, they can have published an article on the mainstream academic media like BIM Today, Build Up, etc., and will coordinate with the design team of the competition. Also, they can have free licenses to use the Bimspeed platform and BIM tools. One of them is the Cypether that you saw before, and other Bimspeed tools. For students, we have two as a surprise prizes, awards, a mentorship. They can have a mentorship on their thesis with the UNStudio experts. And of course, they can present their project or their idea on UNStudio experts, and also have their presentation also on REVA Brussels Summit, which is a major event organized each year by REVA. Coming to the jury, so who is going to evaluate your submissions? It's Tommy Hentinen from Graviton, Chiara Dispascal from Volkswagen, Andras Renai from Obuda Group. He's also chair of the BIM task force of REVA. Olga Veneziano, also a member of ACE and YAP Architects from Greece, and Filippo Lodi from UNStudio. The timeline, submissions are open until, you can submit your project until 21st February 2022, but I would highly recommend you to subscribe, to register to the competition the soonest possible. And every participant will have a certificate of participation that will be handed over to in June 2022. And around this time, also the results of the competition will be announced. I will share with you the PDF afterwards. And here you can see that the link to register directly to the website. There you can also find a registration video, a video tutorial on how to register. Is an easy process. And in case you have any questions, this is the email that you have to pose your questions. Just to round up, please stay tuned. Follow us on social media. We're very active on LinkedIn and Twitter. And please, if you know any team of students or professionals that would like to participate in the competition, feel free to share on social media or even drop an email to any of us organizing team. Will be very happy to help you. And also some, in case you need some banners or some posters, we can also provide this for you in case you want to promote it in a physical form. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see some of you in registering for the competition.
Thank you, Spiridon. Before we go on the next question on Slido, does anyone have questions for Spiridon about competition? I do not see any raised hands. Okay, I really hope you will then go to check our website, and I really hope to see some of you registered. Then Larissa, maybe let's go on the Slido.
Sure. Spiros, can you? Yeah, great. Thank you very much. Voila. So these are the questions. So let's go for the 2 final questions. So would you recommend or participate in the BIM-Speed competition? Yes, I will participate. Yes, I will recommend, or no. So once again, to participate in this poll, you just need to scan the QR code on the left-hand side of your screen with your mobile phone, or you can also go to your browser and type it in slido.com and add the code of this meeting. It's BIM-Speed GR. So, okay, we are receiving some answers, 10 people so far. Yes, I will recommend, 82%, good, great, thank you very much. And yes, I will participate, 18%, that's really good, great news. So I will wait just a few more seconds. We have 11 people, perhaps we will have a few more votes. No, yeah, apparently has stopped. Okay, okay, 12, okay, good, okay, great. Well, it's more or less the same result. Oh, 13, oh, good. People are still voting, okay, thank you very much. And thank you very much for recommend, and we look forward to see you participating in the competition. We are very excited about it. So now I will move on to the last question. So do you think that initiatives as Bimspeed are the right tool to bring digital innovation to on-site professionals in the construction sector? Good, 5 already votes, good, 6, 9, wow, 10, this is going fast, perfect, 11, okay. So we have a big yes, good to know. I think, yes, this is a very good initiative to my point of view, yes, but it's always good to hear from the audience. So 14 had responded yes, thank you very much. Thank you for your response. I think, yeah, we stop now, no more voting. Yeah, I guess we can stop now, Roberta.
I think we can stop.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
From my side, if no one has any questions, comments, I know we are a bit late, but I'm happy that most of you stayed here and didn't leave earlier. I hope it was a very useful session. You learned something, you will bring something to your experience. And well, please follow us on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You can find trainings on BIM-Speed website, and I really hope to see you in competition as well. And I will see some of you, I think, in the afternoon. And for the rest, I wish you all a very nice day.
Many thanks for everybody.
Many thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
See you
much.
soon. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.